Hello and a very good evening to all our viewers who are joining me in this live interaction on News 9's Facebook as well as YouTube page. And quite literally, a worldwide race has begun in order to develop and also roll out the first efficacious vaccine which could be potent enough to provide protection to the masses from COVID-19. So from the US alone, there are about 4 vaccines which are currently hurtling to the finish line. And those vaccines are Moderna, Pfizer Inc. Along with that is the German partner BioNTech SE are some of the leading vaccines which are currently in development. And the fourth vaccine, which is a single dose, single shot vaccine, is from the Johnson & Johnson, which began late phase trial last week. And these are the 4 vaccines that are currently in the race to roll out an approved vaccine for the masses. Now, they may never have been anything like this pedal to the metal race in the history of vaccine ever before. And now, even as these vaccines are in the race, the criteria that the researchers are looking for to approve the vaccines are the efficacy of the vaccine and also about the side effects. Now, speaking about the side effects, amid rising concerns over the efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines under development, several participants in human trial programs of Moderna and Pfizer reported high fever, body aches, headaches, and even exhaustion. So the experts have, however, said that these are common symptoms for any vaccine shots and there is nothing to be worried about. But AstraZeneca's acknowledgement of severe illness in 2 cases was the first of such severe case of COVID-19 vaccine symptoms, after which the development stage was stalled. And if we have to speak about more of such symptoms, or rather more of problems that arrived when a vaccine was developed in 1999, a new vaccine for rotavirus in infants was also recalled after it caused cases of bowel obstruction that were missed in trials. And in 1976, after the federal officials rushed out a mass vaccination campaign for a swine flu, the program was shelved after about 1 in 100,000 people who got the shot developed something called as the Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is a rare neurological disorder, and it is a type of disorder where the immune system attacks the nervous system. Now let's not delve right into the past much, and let's stick to the current scenario. And in order to answer a few questions which are surrounding the report which we just presented to you, we have with us Dr. Sitesh Roy joining us live from Mumbai. Many thanks for joining me in this live interaction, Dr. Sitesh Roy. And my first question to you today is, what are the possible effects of a trial vaccine and how will volunteers be treated after that in case of an adversity, doctor?
So Deepak, we expect there to be certain adverse reactions whenever a vaccination is given. The most common one that we see is pain at the site of the injection.
Okay.
And with that pain at the site of injection, we can also sometimes experience a fever, which may be a low-grade fever, which would be less than 100 degree Fahrenheit, or it may be higher, up to 101, 102. And if it crosses 102 degree Fahrenheit, then it becomes a grade 3 fever, which is considered to be quite significant. We also can sometimes have patients experiencing fatigue, body ache, headaches, which can occur during these vaccinations. Now, in most of the cases of vaccines, if it is a live virus vaccine, the chances of having fever or other complications is higher. And if it's an inactivated vaccine, the chances tend to be less, though this is not always the case. We certainly have something called the diphtheria, pertussis, and tetanus vaccine that is given to babies all around the world, which is known to cause not just fever, but sometimes with the fever, it causes febrile seizures also.
Okay.
So we have always known that when we stimulate the immune system strongly in order to respond to a virus or a bacteria, it may sometimes overreact or over-respond. And in doing so, it can potentially give rise to these side effects. Now, every vaccine trial has a safety program in place where every volunteer is carefully assessed to see if they are experiencing any side effects. Generally, these occur within the first day or two.
Okay.
Things like the Guillain-Barré syndrome or the lateral sclerosis that was seen in the recent AstraZeneca Oxford COVID vaccine, these tend to be slightly delayed reactions that occur weeks after the vaccination. And in such events where there is an adverse reaction, the individual is very quickly brought in, evaluated, treated appropriately with whatever is right for their case, and then they are further observed without any further doses, even if there was one due, and they are carefully observed, and this gets reported to a surveillance system.
Okay.
And also, even after a vaccine is released into the market, post-marketing surveillance is a very critical part to know some of the responses or reactions that might not be seen during a trial duration, and especially an accelerated trial like the ones that are being done for COVID-19 certainly leaves some room for such potential delayed realizations, as I may call, in terms of the vaccine adverse reactions.
Also, doctor, now one particular survey which pointed out at the fact that only 51% of American adults say that they would like to get a COVID-19 vaccine, which was close to 72% in May. The survey indicated in May showed that 72% of the adults in US wanted to get a vaccine. Probably the polls saw a difference after what happened with AstraZeneca, where severe illness in 2 cases were reported. So do you think that such results could probably alter the willingness of a person to get vaccinated?
This could probably be a small portion of the reason, because vaccines causing some immediate side effects has been known for a very long time, and it's not a surprise. However, I feel the general public, more and more that they read and realize that there is an accelerated vaccine development happening, in which they fear that there may be certain safety bars or safety measures that are being ignored in order to get the vaccine ready quickly, I think is where the fear lies in the general public, and everyone is a little apprehensive to see how the people who receive it once the vaccine is available are behaving before they would take it themselves. So it is quite understandable that there is apprehension about what, as I described, the delayed adverse reactions, which we may not know during the trials, though the chances are very low because they are enrolling 30, 50, 60,000 people in the trials to make sure that they get as close to a real life scenario and exposure to the vaccines as they can. Certainly, there are certain individuals and groups who believe that vaccination can potentially cause adverse reactions, and they believe that it overstimulates the immune system. And so these groups also play a very important role in converting people who are on the fence or on the edge with regards to getting the vaccine from not getting it. So I think people are wanting to wait and watch what happens before they go and get it, and hence the percentages drop from 70 to 50.
Also, doctor, now speaking about vaccines, there is a belief among the general public that vaccine could be the final cure. Could you please, tell our viewers that a COVID-19 vaccine may not be the ultimate cure to the pandemic, doctor?
So I think there are 3 things to remember with the pandemic. The first one being, even if we have a safe, immunogenic and valid vaccine, for it to reach at least 5 billion people, okay, which would be 70% of the world population, let's say, it's going to take a couple of years. It's not going to happen in one day or 1 month or a few months. So in the meantime, we still have to keep our guards up. We still have to take all the precautions. We still have to, on a day-to-day basis, wear our masks, hand sanitize, hand wash, maintain physical distancing where possible. The second important thing is we do not know duration for which the immune protection will be sustained after the vaccination. So if the vaccination works, but the immunity lasts only for 1 year, then people would require booster immunizations. So this is another thing that will be unknown even when the vaccine is released, because we haven't had a 1 year waiting period after a successful vaccine to know how the immune response is behaving. And the last and the most important thing I believe is that in believing that the vaccine will solve all our problems, there is a potential for people to become complacent, to stop taking precautions, and that I think is not safe in the midst of a pandemic. We will continue to protect ourselves, our families, our society with the right decisions and the right precautions for quite a bit of time to come, as I would say.
Right, Dr. Sitesh Roy, many thanks for joining me in this live interaction. Well, there you heard it from the doctor himself saying that even though a COVID-19 vaccine could be ready in the next, or rather the near future, it would take at least a couple of years for every single citizen across the world to get a shot of a vaccine. And for people who for whom one vaccine shot wouldn't be enough, they will need another booster vaccine dose, and for that it will be another time consuming period which we will have to endure. And until then, like the doctor mentioned, we will have to make sure that we follow all the safety and precautionary measures, and also remember to follow a good hand hygiene. So if you guys have liked this live interaction, please drop in your comments, and also like, share and subscribe to News 9 on various social media platforms. Thank you for watching.